All right. Well, our next guest has dedicated her life to normalizing mental health issues and promoting self-love to the teenage girls and women. Ingrid Bornia is a licensed clinical social worker, trauma specialist, and owner of Boss Inner Child Counseling. Ingrid, welcome to Coast Live. Good to see you. You look fabulous.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Cheryl. You look great as well.
Thank
I'm so happy to be here.
I love the name of your business. And tell us, what in your mind is a boss girl?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Boss girl is the young girl, the girl from 14 to 18 years old who has worked very hard to become empowered, to shed all of the trauma, all of the hurt, all of the pain, and to actually be a confident woman who self-actualizes. And I am so proud of this mission to promote Boss Girl.
And this is something that I think all girls, all women should have. And so why do you focus on women and teenage girls only?
Well, I'm a woman, right? I'm a woman, and I have this philosophy that the woman is someone who's very delicate, yet strong, very capable, yet in many cases find themselves very vulnerable. And so the idea is for me to be able to share my experience and be a representation of what a person looks like once they overcome the hurt and emotional pain. And today is a very special day, not just because I'm here with you, but also because there are boss girls that went out to the fit shop in Newport News and was working out. Because my philosophy is that not only do you work on your mental health, but you also work on your physical health. And so with the support of Aaron Rashad, who is also known as Early, he is actually hosting the Boss Girls and providing them with education on physical fitness, along with meeting with me individually for trauma therapy.
It's so important that you do that total body approach. So you have to look at the mental, you have to look at the physical. It all ties together. And I know a lot of people right now are struggling. You know, women, girls are struggling. PTSD, we've got depression, we've got anxiety. COVID is making things so much worse. So what advice would you give for teenage girls in particular if they're struggling?
Well, it's very important to note that the CDC has made it public that high school students are self-harming and that the rate of their self-harming behaviors has increased tremendously. So the thought that a person is that injured where they want to hurt themselves requires immediate attention. So if a young lady is experiencing thoughts of self-harm or having panic attacks or very afraid of what can be or what is occurring in their life, that they should honestly convey that information to someone whom they trust. Boss Inner Child Counseling works very hard to be available. The unfortunate caveat to that is that Boss Girl provides services in the evenings and in the weekends only. And at this juncture, that seems to be positive enough for the young girls to reach out, right? And so if they have an issue or concern or worry, they should absolutely call Boss Inner Child Counseling and make that contact. But keep in mind, I am going to push that person to get to a place of inner peace. And that requires doing physical work, yoga, Pilates, going to the gym, lifting weights, going jogging, riding a bike, because trauma gets stored in your body. It's a form of muscle memory and nerve data. And anytime there's a trigger, that individual will react to anything. And so we want to get them to a place of not only emotional healing, but physical healing. And that would be my goal.
I've heard that before, that if you have emotional trauma, it does stay in your body. But how do you release that? And you know, what are you feeling? What are some of the symptoms that we go through when we're still holding on to that?
That's a very good question. For many people, they find themselves avoiding. They find themselves isolating. They find themselves being overreactive or underreactive. They find themselves having what is very commonly known as panic attacks or becoming very irritable. And the most common one is substance abuse, numbing the body to not feel any of those internal reminders. It is so important to pay attention to your body, to notice the tension in your shoulders, in your neck, in your back, and say to yourself, why is this happening to me? Why am I feeling this way? And if you've been sexually abused, if you witnessed community violence, if you grew up in a home with domestic violence, if you were abandoned or feel abandoned, if any of that happens, like kidnapping, or just, you can imagine all of the things that are going on in this world, that stuff stays stored within you. And it creates nightmares, intrusive thoughts. And so for many years myself, I struggled with intrusive thoughts. I struggled with trusting people. I struggled with being able to feel normal. And little did I know, I had the tools within me all along. And that is to love myself, to trust that I am making sound decisions and that I'm doing the right thing. So no drugs, exercise, find a way to forgive, whether you're forgiving yourself or others. And absolutely, without a doubt, trust someone enough to tell them your story, work through the data, because a lot of times the story has other variables and information that is convoluted, possibly maybe not as authentic as that person may believe.
Absolutely.
And so my job is to help them work through some of that data.
I love your passion and your energy, and everybody who talks to you, it's all confidential, so we have the information on the screen to contact you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.